Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. The purpose of this video is to explain how the mainstream media actively creates propaganda to control the mind's eye of the masses. What's going on inside the minds of we the people. And for the purpose of this video, we're going to talk about the Colin Kaepernick story where he is protesting by not participating in the national anthem ritual. The United States of America is a nation that claims to be free, brave, independent, and all of these things are claimed in our national anthem, in our Pledge of Allegiance. And what all three of those things are lies. None of them are true. We're not free. We're not brave. We're not independent. What we are is owned, enslaved, and timid, passive aggressive, non confrontational, too hopeless to think we can do anything about our predicament. And we're a people who are stressed out, frustrated. We're working hard. We're making little. Lots of difficulties that come up along the way we have to deal with. And because of the state we're in, we're easily provoked. And what most Americans do who are in this state when they have free time is sit on their couch, sit on their chair, their whatever, and watch their television, or now watch the TV through their computer monitor. And constantly, the programming that's coming through is negative, threatening, alarming, anxiety causing. Either that or it's causing people to, go into la la land, fantasy zone, movie, Hollywood, video game. What I'm trying to do with this channel is get people to be honest about our situation and see what's really going on. And what we're going to talk about is how professional athletes are used for staged propaganda to create stereotypes, to create division, to create needless fighting, controversy. That's what's going on right now with the Colin Kaepernick national anthem protest. And really, if you're an American and you think you're free, you shouldn't care what Colin Kaepernick does. A free man should do what he wants as long as he's not hurting somebody else. And putting your hand over your heart, pledging to a piece of cloth, that's something that's been conditioned into your brain to be important. Listen to the actual words that you're nodding along to. They're all lies. So should any of us really even be doing this? I don't think we should be criticizing the people who decide not. But the point is, Colin Kaepernick, his protest is not legitimate. It comes with his contract, which we'll talk about. So, we've heard about him not protesting. There's been other stories in recent days that he's wearing socks with police officers with pig faces at practice. This is all propaganda factoring into the other propaganda that is given to us in the mainstream media. If you took the time to look at who controls your media and who owns your professional sports teams, overwhelmingly, a very massive percentage of those people will be Zionist Jews. And Zionist Jews practice something called gematria. Gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words. It comes from Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism having to do with numerology and gematria, which you see on the screen. These people are truly controlling the world, and in their control, they are using things such as gematria to code all of their propaganda news stories. I have been exposing for 3 years all of these stories that are used for racial divisiveness are centered with 33. Race war in gematria sums to 33. A prime example is the beating of Rodney King on March 3rd, 3-3 by the LAPD. Both LAPD and police equal 33. So does KKK, so does Black Lives Matter, a controlled opposition, now being discussed by our own government as a possible terrorist organization. This is what controlled opposition is all about, sucking people into something who have good intentions and then putting a terrible label on that, all for the sake of programming and teaching people how to think and what to believe, for the majority of the country that never protests when they see on the TV that Black Lives Matter are terrorists, and they're just used to believing what they see on TV, they're just going to nod their head to it, like everything else. But anyway, all these words have gematria 33. And the reason Mexico and Mexicans on there is because, if you missed my first video on Colin Kaepernick, this news story, his protest became a national news story 68 days before his birthday. In 1968 at the Summer Olympics, there was the Black Panther salute by the gold medal winner. 68, this story came 68 days before Colin Kaepernick's upcoming birthday. As I uncovered in this video, which I will link in the description, all of these sports tributes over the years, the Denver Nuggets player and so much more, all of them have been centered around this number 68, meaning all of them that have come since 1968 have been a tribute to that year. So this is part of an ongoing pattern by the numbers. If you have time, watch this video. I think this is one of the better videos I've ever made. It's almost an hour, but it's packed with information. You know, you could watch a documentary that's 5 hours long, and you won't get as much information as you get in this 58 minutes. But anyway, we're talking about Colin Kaepernick being used to participate in propaganda, which factors into this race war. All sorts of people are making this argument racial. Even, ESPN's Rodney Harrison, the former NFL player the other day, big headlines about him saying Colin Kaepernick's not even really black. It's all about race. These stories, they provoke all sorts of things. Look at this. Think about Colin Kaepernick, the pro athlete, being used in the mainstream media for the protest. The word protest in gematria sums to 113, just like mainstream, just like dishonest, just like perjury, just like green screen, all things used to deceive. Colin Kaepernick is born on the date November 3rd, 11/3. The week before him, the negative NFL headline was Rodney Harrison being sentenced to prison for being a rapist. And the word football equals 83. The word rapist equals 83. Football 83, rapist 83. He was sentenced to prison 83 days before his birthday, also on November 3rd, which makes me think it's also bogus propaganda just to sell those stereotypes of black men being sexual predators, dangerous threats. Roseanne in history, who mutilated the national anthem, also born on November 3rd. That was a national news story. We'll talk about Cap's upcoming birthday. He's going to be turning 29. Football, the big way is 83, the small way 29. His protest where he got national news was after against the Packers. He's from Wisconsin. So check this out. People don't understand why a pro athlete would do something like this. These are the comments I get in the video. Why would anybody ever agree to this? The reason Colin Kaepernick and others will go along with shaming in the media is for money. Look at what Colin Kaepernick makes every year, $19 million. The average American makes around $30,000 a year, if you take the national average. If you make $30,000 a year, you have to work for 633 years and 4 months to make $19 million. And if you consider taxes, you have to work nearly 900 years. Nearly 900 years. The reason professional athletes are paid so highly is so that they keep their mouths shut about what's really going on in pro sports. And that is scripted, predetermined outcomes where games are played with high-level athletes who are willing to participate in this organized scheme. It's a scheme of deception. It dupes the fan who is emotionally invested. It dupes the bettor. This is why Vegas almost always wins. And this is why spreads are so accurate. It is a gang of sellouts deceiving the masses, taking advantage of them, and becoming rich off of it. You think about the average person who makes $30,000 a year when they save up their money to go to the game, something they can't do that often. That's what pays for these monster salaries. Plus at the sports game, you're getting ripped off on the food. All goes to these overpaid assholes selling us out. So if you don't think these people are overpaid athletic actors, Colin Kaepernick, prior to this media attention, has never had an afro in his career. It's clearly a tribute to the 60s, the Black Panther Party of the past. Again, in the video linked in the description, I talk about the significance of the Black Panther Party in regards to Colin Kaepernick and the protest. Last year, before Super Bowl 50 happened, before the playoffs were set, I predicted that the Broncos would defeat the Carolina Panthers in race war symbolism, that Von Miller would be the MVP because of the number he wore, which connects to the Black Panther Party we'll talk about, and there would be a Black Panther tribute, which did happen at halftime, connected to Beyonce. Beyonce has gematria of 33, just like Race War. Her music video that came out just before the Super Bowl, Formation, gematria of 666, number of prophecy. Anyhow, Colin Kaepernick playing the part, having the hairdo to fit the role. His news story became national again 68 days before his November 3rd birthday. 1968, Tommy Smith gold medal, Black Power salute, 3rd place. As well, please see the video I put out on Colin Kaepernick. It's all in there. I show how the tribute was very much synced up with the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr., which happened earlier that year, as well as the death of Bobby Kennedy, who was shot June 5th and died June 6th. These two men had June 6th and June 5th birthdays. With regards to 113 in the Bava Kamah, the Jewish holy book, 113a, it says it's okay for Jewish people to lie to people who are not Jewish, which are Gentiles. It's the rule 113, again, mainstream 113, dishonest 113. Bava Kamah is considered the first gate of the Talmud. I just want you to see that the word gate in Jewish gematria sums to 113, and in simple English gematria, 33. Numbers very important to the race war. All of this programming, I don't know how to put it in words. It's like the gateway to so many Americans' minds. What comes through the TV, what comes through the mainstream, it controls what they believe and what they don't believe. People such as myself who try to open other people's eyes to truth, I'm often attacked for, not being in accordance with what the programming is on TV. So many people choosing which side of the gate they want to be on. Red pill, blue pill. So look at this. Colin Kaepernick in gematria sums to 74. This is a number we see often coded into the race war programming, a number often coming with 33. 33 and 74, important numbers to Freemasonry, this nation. Last year, there was a shooting at 110 Calhoun Street in Charleston on the anniversary date of the death of Rodney King, June 17th. Calhoun equals 74. The shooter's name was Dylan Stormroof. Bizarre name, bizarre spelling of Dylan with 2 N's. Dylan Stormroof, 74. They said he was a white supremacist, 74. Black Panther Party sums to 74. If you write it as the Black Panther Party, it equals 89. If you write it as New Black Panther Party, it equals 89. The New Black Panther Party was established in 89. Again, important number to this nation, 74. The United States of America's Independence Day. Birthday is July 4th, 7-4. Independence Day equals 74. Holiday. This most recent protest to close out the preseason in San Diego, 74. Masonic, 74. Jewish, 74. So look at this. In Colin Kaepernick's protest in San Diego, 2 people joined him. Teammate Eric Reid, who wears the number 35, and former NFL and military man who's age 35. We're going to talk about the significance of 35 and why these men were alongside him on this September 1st protest that again got national news coverage. Notice that Eric Reid, number 35, was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Baton Rouge recently had the Alton Sterling killing, and then it had the retaliation killing by the young black man killing 3 police officers reportedly and injuring 3 more. 3 and 3, 33, police 33, race war 33, Black Lives 33. I have videos on how all of those shootings were staged propaganda for the sake of agenda. There is a bill first signed in Louisiana called Blue Lives Matter, and it's about militarizing police against the threat of Black Lives Matter. And after the Louisiana shooting in the news, there was the Minnesota shooting in the news, and then the next day, the retaliatory shooting at a Black Lives Matter protest in Dallas. All of this stuff orchestrated propaganda by the numbers. I just want you to notice that Eric Reid is from this town, Baton Rouge, which was also recently hit by a very suspicious storm. Baton Rouge has gematria of 46. September 1st, 2016, the day he participated in the protest, gematria or numerology of 46. You know, some people will see him in this protest as a hero. Other people will hate him. This is called organized chaos, and this is how people are divided against each other. Hero has gematria 46, chaos 46, sacrifice 46, Baton Rouge, hate crime, the bill Blue Lives Matter, first signed by the Louisiana governor. It was targeting hate crimes against police and Black Lives Matter as a threat. Hate crime also 46. Chaos the small way also sums to 19. The date of this protest was September 1st, a date that can be written 1/9, plus it was a date also with 19 numerology. So the date has these chaos connections in the mainstream media with all these headlines programming race war, from Rodney King to Trayvon Martin to Sandy Bland to Freddie Gray to Tamir Rice to all the ones that I'm not naming right now. There's been so many of them. All coded with these numbers. All these stories are trying to provoke and divide the population among race and more. So the other person who joined him is Nate Boyer, who's currently 35 years old. Notice he was born January 9th, 1/9, kind of like September 1st. I'll show you what I think they were going for with that number, besides just chaos. He's from Tennessee. Tennessee having that prophecy gematria. Prophecy always important in the equation. The word liberty has gematria of 91. This is September 1st. It's in San Diego, a military town. You know, these are the values that so many people share in this nation without really thinking about them. Thinking that we're, this proud military that's all about liberty and freedom and justice. And really, we don't have those things in this nation. And for all of you who say, well, look at the other nations and how much worse it is there, remember, this world is under a one world order agenda, which is what I am exposing. This is how they operate. They are Masonic, they are Zionist, they are Jewish, and they have been in power, intact for centuries. They created this nation, and they've made we the people live backwards, believe lies, worship lies, respect and obey lies, and condemn those who don't. There is no liberty here. If there were liberty, you wouldn't be required to go to school as a child or be punished by being put in jail, group home, having your parents consequenced. That's not freedom. We live in a nation where our food is controlled corporately, and the corporations have made laws so that they don't have to disclose what they're putting in the food. Does that sound like freedom? A food supply where you can't even know what's in your food? These are the laws of this land. And, it's a land where sugar and toxins and fat and salt are advertised and push on children. Children get addicted to foods that are toxic to them. And at the same time, they're told to never touch marijuana, something that can truly be used as a medicine to open minds. People are in prison just for smoking marijuana, something that's actually good for you. There's more healthy ways to use marijuana than to smoke it, but it truly is a natural medicine. A century ago, most medicines were made out of marijuana and cocaine. Now today, people are in prison for using those things. Meanwhile, man-made pharmaceuticals rake in billions while killing people in the hundreds of thousands. Never a death in the history of this nation from marijuana. Hundreds of thousands of prescription pill drug deaths every year. We don't have liberty here. We have lies, and we have programming to believe lies. With regards to 91, it also connects to the current president, Barack Hussein Obama. I talked about how Colin Kaepernick and Obama are born 91 days apart in the longer video, which is again linked in the description. If you're new here, please sub and check out my videos. Lots of very important work. This is way bigger than sports. I cover it all. I show what's really going on in this world. Death of Prince, which I predicted earlier this year. Death of Muhammad Ali, which I predicted in 2014 at the age of 74. You learn this number code, you see what's going on in the world. Coming back for a second to 35, number 35, the 35-year-old, the guy who wears number 35, his name's Eric Reid. Eric is a name with 35 gematria. The name Reid is a gematria with 216, just like Barack's 216, born on the 216th day of the year. 216 connects to 666, the number of prophecy. If you multiply 6 times 6 times 6, it equals 216. Very special number. 35, what it also has to do is with your mind's eye. The Freemasons who own and operate this world, they control media, they control sports, they control science, they control religion. Freemasonry is the real mafia of this world. They are the one world order. They control things such as the Catholic Church, the CC, the 33, Christopher Columbus, CC, 33, paid for by the Catholic Church. Christopher Columbus, Jewish, supposedly discovered the New World. You know, a world where natives already lived. They called them Indian. Indian equals 33. Anyway, throughout the history of scientific understanding, there's always been conflict between the scientific community and the Catholic Church. Catholic and NASA have gematria of 35. NASA, this very important scientific institution, probably the one that most Americans know the most about. The word I also has gematria 35. In the Vatican, the Catholic Empire in Italy, in the Vatican, there is a statue of a pine cone. And the pine cone is very much like the pineal gland in our mind, our mind's eye, our third eye, what controls the way we think and believe and operate. Think about this symbolism in our nation. This is why they had the 35s out there surrounding you know who, Colin Kaepernick. And I find it so interesting, the Major 91 connection, after we talked about in the first video in regards to the relationship between Obama and Colin Kaepernick. Check out that first video. Barack Obama in gematria equals 68, so does Denver. Colin Kaepernick became a 49er through the Denver Broncos, who traded picks with the 49ers. Last year, the Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl in San Francisco Stadium by the numbers. Colin Kaepernick's final preseason game before he got the national media attention about the protest was against Denver. Denver visited Barack Obama at the White House by the numbers. Again, Denver equals 68, Barack Obama 68. So check this out. There's still more. I hope you're with me because we're saving the best for last. The name Eric Reid in gematria also connects to Catholic Church. The name the word Catholic, the small way is 35. The only Catholic president in the history of the U.S., JFK, the 35th president. Eric Reid, the small way, sums to 53, like religion, the reflection of 35. So I want to make a point about the Jesuits. The Jesuits are within the Catholic Church. Football's on Sunday. The Catholic Church changed the Christian day of worship from Saturday to Sunday. Sunday 84, Jesuit 84, United States of America 84. It's a nation of laws and lawyers, lawyer 84, states 84, Revolutionary War 84, the Twilight Zone 84, Serling, who wrote the Twilight Zone 84. The NFL calls itself America's game. America equals 32, NFL equals 32. There's 32 teams. Our date of independence is a date with 32 numerology. The United States in Pythagorean gematria sums to 58. Rod Serling, who wrote the Twilight Zone in Pythagorean gematria, sums to 58. I want to talk about what 58 has to do with Colin Kaepernick's game in San Diego and the Nation of Islam. It's rumored that Colin Kaepernick has converted to Islam. I don't think that this is true. If it ends up being a news story, here will be the parallel. Check this out. Nation of Islam in Gematria sums to 58. Star sums to 58. Oakland sums to 58. Huey P. Newton sums to 58. Freemasonry sums to 58. Secret Society sums to 58. Last year, Von Miller, number 58, was the MVP, who was drafted one pick after Cam Newton in 2011. Cam Newton became the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl. Newton, Huey P. Newton, Cam Newton, the 58th quarterback. Von Miller, number 58, the MVP. All of this is how scripted the league is truly. All of this is planned out to the numbers as tributes. Our entire history as a nation is this way. Colin Kaepernick, Sunday night, the star quarterback, began with a 58 passing yard touchdown drive. 58 passing yards. 33-second timestamp. This is truly how scripted the NFL is. That is not a coincidence. 58. A football field's 100 yards. We'll close with this. 100 minus 58 is 42. 42 is a number stamped all over black people throughout history. The most hateful word for black people equals 42. The only month that sums to 42 is February. The word boy equals 42. Brothers equals 42. The word bus equals 42. Think about the bus in Black History Month. Rosa Parks was born February 4th, a date that could be written 4/2. A lot like 42. Muhammad Ali equaled 42. Muhammad Ali this year was ritually sacrificed by the numbers. Muhammad equals 74. He died at age 74. He was named after the Prophet Muhammad. He was the Muhammad Ali for 52 years. Prophecy equals 52. California equals 52. This game, right here, the score of this preseason game, notice that it's a sum of 52 points. A game between two California teams, San Diego and San Francisco. The Los Angeles Rams, who returned to Los Angeles this year, their game against the Minnesota Vikings also summed to 52. Remember, the Minnesota Vikings in their new stadium will be hosting Super Bowl 52. Check this out. Prophecy equals 52. California equals 52. Los Angeles Rams equals 52. Their first game of the preseason in LA summed to, 52, just like the name of their team. The NFL is scripted to the point, and even these preseason games are scripted. They're practicing what they're going to do in the regular season. Here's what I want to show you about Muhammad Ali. The name Muhammad Ali in Pythagorean gematria sums to 42. Again, he was this name for 52 years, named after the Prophet Muhammad, prophecy 52. The name Muhammad Ali, the big way, sums to 96. This is just like the word Freemason. This is just like the word knowledge. This is just like many important word pairings. And what's interesting is that in mathematics, if you take all the numbers that divide into 42, known as the divisors of 42, and add them together, they sum to 96. A boxing ring is 96 feet around. Muhammad Ali, which equals 96 the big way, opened up the 96 Summer Games in Atlanta on the 33rd parallel. Muhammad Ali used once upon a time 4 race war headlines. I want to show you something. Boxer equals 64. He became boxing champion in Miami Beach, which equals 64. In Pythagorean gematria, it equals 46, just like Parkinson's, just like Louisville, where he was born, just like Phoenix, where he died. He died on the 33rd parallel as well, 46, the sacrifice number. Muhammad Ali died on June 3rd, 63 days before the start of the Summer Games in Rio. Remember, he died at age 74. Muhammad 74, Masonic 74, Jesus 74. This is a special number to the Freemasons. They've coded it on so many things that they use to divide us. And that's what all these Freemason signatures come back to. The things that are used to control us, to steer us, to divide us, to manipulate us. I hope you can follow what I'm saying. One last point I need to make. Muhammad Ali was age 22 when he changed his name to Muhammad Ali when he became boxing champion. He was born in the year 1942, the most hateful number or word for black people. It's the reason Jackie Robinson wore 42. He was age 42 when he also got Parkinson's. It makes me think he was truly injected. Some people say he was acting and faked it his whole life. If he did that, he was an amazing actor. But I think it's also very possible that he was injected by the numbers. A lot of sick things have been done to the black people over the years. The Tuskegee experiment, what's been done with crack cocaine, the way laws are set up in this nation. It's a sick game. And all I'm trying to do is expose the sickness, show people what's really up in this world. Muhammad Ali dying on June 3rd, 63 days before the start of the summer games when the Prophet Muhammad died at age 63. This kind of stuff is no coincidence. When you count every number up to 63, it sums to 2016. Your sports are scripted. There's ritual murders. Did I cover this already? I've been talking, I forgot. I don't think I covered this. Look at this. This headline is from earlier in the day before the game. We'll close with this. Here's another 74 right before our eyes. This headline was just before Kaepernick played in San Diego. And again, Colin Kaepernick equals 74. So does San Diego. San Diego equals 74. We get a 74 on a Colts helmet in a AP article just before the game. NFL says players cannot remove American flags from helmets. And think about this. Colin Kaepernick's played in one Super Bowl. He played in Super Bowl 47, the one that had the 33-minute blackout. Remember that, 33-minute blackout. 47 is significant. The first Super Bowl was in the 47th year of the NFL. That was Super Bowl I. Packers and Chiefs. If Colin Kaepernick ends up getting traded to the Minnesota Vikings and ends up playing against the Indianapolis Colts in the Super Bowl, remember that in Super Bowl 47, he played Baltimore, which is where the Colts are originally from. This year, there's a strong possibility the Colts will be in the Super Bowl, which is Super Bowl 51, but it's the 47th Super Bowl of the modern era. So it's another 47. The reflection is 74. This could be all part of a riddle. There's been rumors that the new coach in San Francisco is not fond of Kaepernick. He could get traded. The Vikings need a quarterback. The rumors are there. If he ends up on the Vikings, if they end up going to the Super Bowl and face the Colts, I really hope people will come to understand this script by the numbers and how sports are being used for social programming. During the sports game, you're programmed to drink beer, support the military. There's so much militarism programming in every NFL broadcast. Join the Marines, join the Air Force, join the Navy. In America, people have been duped into thinking that's a good thing to do, a patriotic thing to do. If you join the military, who you work for are the one world order banker tyrants who run the world with deception, lies, tyranny, hate, all things bad. So this video got long and way longer than I wanted it to go, but, again, a lot of information. I hope people can see what's going on here. Until next time, True Secret Core. Because we brought up the number 58, I want to touch on the assassination of Malcolm X and the parallel between Malcolm X and Colin Kaepernick. We'll also touch on the parallel to Martin Luther King Jr. This is a very important point. Malcolm X was supposedly assassinated by the Nation of Islam in the Audubon Ballroom. And you got to see this with your own eyes. Audubon Ballroom has the same gematria as Nation of Islam, same as Freemasonry, and same as secret society. The address for the Audubon Ballroom is 166. And Audubon Ballroom, the big way, is 166. So is Secret Society. Freemasonry is 139. And Malcolm X was born on the 139th day of the year. Malcolm X, 139th day. So now here is the parallel between Malcolm X and Colin Kaepernick. The name Malcolm X in gematria sums to 93. The last name Kaepernick sums to 93. And Colin Kaepernick's full name is Colin Rand Kaepernick, which in Pythagorean gematria also sums to 93. So does the name Martin Luther King Jr. And both Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X were killed by the number 44, and they both died at the age 39, the reflection of 93. Martin Luther King Jr. gave his final speech on April 3rd, which is also the 93rd day of the year. In the history of these two men, they only met one time in history, and they met on a date with 93 numerology, not by coincidence. It's because over the years, the same gang has been controlling the show, controlling the celebrities, controlling the narrative. And sometimes even the people they control, they give the people the right message, such as Colin Kaepernick. His message about protesting, having to salute the flag, it's right. It's correct. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, most of what both of them said is correct, true. But ultimately, these symbols, these figures, they're used by the gang to steer people who are divided over race, religion. Remember this should Colin Kaepernick have headlines about becoming a part of Nation of Islam. That's a rumor right now. However, it is in the numbers and would not surprise. This is why history repeats itself, truth seeker. It's because a gang of Freemasons is making history repeat. And this is the way they do it. All right, truth seeker. Until next time.